And welcome to today's Key Stage 3 literacy session. So today we're going to be going through a number of slides. Today, the first slide is focusing on homophones. So they are words that sound the same, however they are spelt differently and have a different meaning. So the first task is to look at the slide on 2, 2 and 2. Now you may think that these are too easy for you, however people still get them quite confused. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and then I want you to try these tasks, writing out the sentences, including the correct punctuation. So the first one, I'm going to the cinema with my friends. Now, is that to, to, locating a place or stating a point or going to a place? Is it the number 2 or TWO, or is it to, TOO, that you've had too much of something, you've eaten it or had it in excess, or it could mean as well as. So if you want to stop the recording now and write out those sentences with the correct words in them. The next slide is on the homophones, there, and there. There, THEIR, means that something is belonging to someone else, so it's their possession. THERE is stating a fact or there is a place. THEY apostrophe RE is for they are. Again, please will you pause the video now and write out the sentences using the correct there, or there. The next task focuses on spelling, and these are commonly misspelt words. So let's have a look for the correct spellings of these. You're more than welcome to use a dictionary, or you can go online on your mobile phones, tablets, laptop or computer to check the spelling. So for example, the first word is definite. Definite. Now I know it does sound like it ends in ATE, however, it doesn't. So there is a clue for you there. The second one, knowledge. There certainly is a missing silent letter there. Necessary, number 3. Number 4, interesting. Number 5, February. There's definitely a silent letter missing there. Number 6, beginning. Number 7, describe. Number 8, professional. Number 9, address. And number 10, develop. You may need to pause the slides here now for approximately 10 minutes while you find the correct spellings of these words. If you now look on the next slide, you can actually see there the spellings of the correct words. So Init is indefinite. The D is the silent letter in knowledge. Necessary has 1 C and 2 S's. So for example, it may be 1 collar. We only wear 1 collar, but we wear 2 socks. So the C, 1 collar, 2 S's, 2 socks. Interesting, there is an E after the T. February has that silent R. Beginning with 2 N's. Describe with an E. Professional with 2 S's. Address with 2 D's. And finally, develop has no E on the end. So the next session that we're going to do is the word of the day, acceptable. Now what you need to do for this is find out the meaning of the word acceptable, then any synonyms, so words which are similar to acceptable, the antonyms, the words that are opposite to acceptable, and then I want you to write a sentence. So you can now spend approximately 10 minutes on finding the meaning of the word acceptable. So if you want to pause the slides now for you to do that task. Okay, so on the next slide, you will see here that we actually have the answers. So the meaning of acceptable is to be able to agree on. If something's acceptable, yes, the dress is acceptable, it's suitable, or it might mean moderately good, satisfactory, able to be tolerated or allowed. Now, synonyms for acceptable are suitable, appropriate, it's fitting or fit, correct, it's proper, satisfactory, adequate, reasonable, quite good, fair or decent. Antonyms, which are the opposite of acceptable, means that something is unacceptable or unsuitable or unsatisfactory, unwelcome, undesirable, or wrong. Finally, a sentence with the word acceptable in it. Pollution in the city had reached 4 times the acceptable level. So therefore, the pollution levels were unacceptable. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Now, what you can do now is, if you have got the opportunity to access the internet, then you can type in formtimeideas.com. Now, for this, there are 9 different activities for you to complete. So you can find out the verb of the day, so the doing or the action word of the day, the noun of the day, whatever that may be, the adjective of the day, so the descriptive word. There's an easy scramble and a hard scramble. So that's where a word is all mixed and jumbled up and you have to work out what it is. There's a thought for the day that might provoke you into thinking a certain way. There's a grammar time exercise, first and last, and then finally a famous quote. You'll probably want to spend about 20 minutes on that website. So the next slide here is looking at a recommended read. Now, this book, Cirque du Freak, I found out about 15 years ago. Subsequently, since then, it has been made into a film, which is really enjoyable. What I want you to do, first of all, is think about what this novel might be just from looking at the front cover. So really have a good look at the image. What is in the image? The picture of the person, the spider, look at the colour of the man, look at the colour of his clothes and his hair. Then finally, look around the outside of the novel. What sort of things are there? And it's the saga of Darren Shan's Cirque du Freak, a living nightmare. So give yourself a couple of minutes to think about what you think the novel might be about. Now, what we're going to do now is read the extract from the opening chapter. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about what else could the novel be about? What genre do you think it is? And then how does the opening engage the reader? I've always been fascinated by spiders. I used to collect them when I was younger. I'd spend hours rooting through the dusty old shed at the bottom of our garden, hunting the cobwebs for lurking 8-legged predators. When I found one, I'd bring it in and let it loose in my bedroom. It used to drive my mum mad. Usually the spider would slip away after no more than a day or two, never to be seen again. But sometimes they hung around longer. I had one who made a cobweb above my bed and stood sentry for almost a month. Going to sleep, I used to imagine the spider creeping down, crawling into my mouth, sliding down my throat and laying loads of eggs in my belly. The baby spiders would hatch after a while and eat me alive from the inside out. I loved being scared when I was little. When I was 9, my mum and dad gave me a small tarantula. It wasn't poisonous or very big, but it was the greatest gift I'd ever received. I played with that spider almost every waking hour of the day, gave it all sorts of treats, flies and cockroaches and tiny worms, sport it rotten. Then one day I did something stupid. I'd been watching a cartoon in which one of the characters was sucked up by a vacuum cleaner. No harm came to him. He squeezed out of the bag, dusty and dirty and mad as hell. It was really funny. Okay, so again, looking at the opening questions, what else could the novel be about? What genre do you think it is? And how does the opening engage the reader? So I'd like you to write at least three separate paragraphs answering those questions. So if you stop the clip for now and give yourself the opportunity to do that. So this next slide here is about American or English. So what I want you to do is see whether these words are English and which of these are American. When you find the American word, change the spelling to make it sure it is English. So we've got honour, colour, favour, centre, catalogue, dialogue, moustache, aeroplane, pyjamas and skeptic. So if you pause the slide here and then you can look up the words on your mobile phone or a tablet, computer, on the internet, or by using a dictionary. And I want you to write down which ones are American and then change the spelling to make it sure it's English. Okay, and here are your answers there. So honour, favour, dialogue and pyjamas are English, whereas colour, centre, catalogue, moustache, aeroplane and skeptic are American. So please can you change the spellings there? Right, finally, the last task. As you can see, it is the game of Boggle. You can see there that there are many different letters on the page. So what you need to do is create as many words as possible using the letters in the grid. They can go up, down, left, right, or diagonal, but the letters must touch. They cannot not touch. For example, you can have the word world, W-O-R-L-D. So as you can see, they go all along the top column from left to right and then down. Another word, for example, is dog, D-O-G. So from the second column down, it goes down, D-O-G. So give yourself approximately 10 minutes and see how many words you can do. Now, that is the end of today's session. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed all the tasks you've been given. Take care for now. Bye.